All right, welcome to my channel. I have something very interesting for all of you. And if you're logging in from any part of the world, why don't you first say a hello to me? I hope my voice is clear to all of you and it's going perfectly fine. Just let me check my audio. I think it's coming fine to all. I'm sure fine. That's perfect sign. So can you give me a heads up for sign and audio? I'm sure it is doing good. Perfect. So wherever you have logged in from, whichever city you have logged in from, you can say hello to me and tell me which city you have logged in so that I can know you better and I can relate with you better. That's the first thing. Second, I have a very sincere topic, a topic which is in demand by most of us. We all are scared by the word listening books. And if I tell you, do you love reading books? You will say, come on, man. This is not a joke time. It's a serious time. Book reading. And I always tell, books people want to see, and it is good to have them at your home, at yourself. But very few people actually read. Though we have a desire to read, but we are not able to read. Why? For a very obvious reason, because it is not something very interesting. We buy it and we start reading it. So typically, how do people read? Let me show you a demo. Typically, how do you read? You purchase a book and you start reading it like this. Correct or not? That's what most of us read. That's what most of us read. It's a wrong way of reading. It's a wrong way of reading. From childhood, this is what I've been hearing. Wrong way of reading. All right. Second, what do we do? I'm telling you today three or four challenges. The first thing, what is the wrong way of reading? So Prasant can annotate and he can write it down. The first wrong way of reading, taking a book and start reading it like this, open page. This is known as open page reading. A wrong way of reading. A wrong way of reading. Why? Because you cannot focus the whole. See, if I read like this, what happened now? I'm seeing the whole page. My concentration going is very difficult. Open page reading is the most difficult way of reading. Don't read it like this. Wrong way of reading. Second, we try to read from the first page till the end page, otherwise we don't get satisfaction. This is again a wrong way of reading. Reading from page 1 till page last. Then you say, Vijay, are you crazy? Are you talking? What are you saying, man? It's this is what we've been listening. Is it wrong? Yes, that is what I was also surprised when I first time heard. These are wrong way of reading. Why? Because problem is by the time you read all this thing, and another secret I'll tell you. In a book, generally, only 40% content is actual content. Rest 60% is nothing but stuff around to make it interesting. What does that mean? Very simple. That means a very simple thing. See, when you're reading this book, what happens is now it's like me. I have a bones, I have nose, I have hair, I have skin, I have everything. Body, similarly, book also has a lot of things. It has body inside it, it has story inside it, it has multiple things inside it. Actual me, when an author has to write, what will he do? He will give you all the point of view, he will give you everything, and then he will try to come across a point. Many times you'll be surprised that the topic which the author is trying to explain may not be existing in the first two chapters. Some of the author may bring it in the first chapter, some of the author may bring it in the middle of the chapter, some of middle of the book, some of them may keep it in the third section of the book. Problem is how to know all this thing. If you can know where is the real crux, you can just fast forward and go there. And that's what I teach you. So it means our old habits are our biggest culprit. So when I'm telling you today, initially you will be uncomfortable doing what I'm saying. Trust me, you'll be uncomfortable. And if you cannot handle this uncomfortable state for a certain period of time, you will find it quite difficult. So if you have these habits, can you pass on some comment? If you are one of those who used to read open books, starting you have a desire of reading from the first acknowledgement till the last, if you are one of them, why don't you write some comments? Let the author know let the other people know that we all are similar. Now, if you had been part of this, if you also been victimized like this way of reading, don't worry, I'm giving you today's solution. I will try to give you 3 to 4 solutions. And let me tell you, they are quite easy, quite simple, but very difficult to do. Why is it difficult to do? It is difficult to do because we are not habituated to do the way right thing is. Now, what is right thing, what is wrong thing, God knows. But let me tell you what I found out. The first thing, whenever you read a book, okay, first principle, write down. Principle number 1. Let's annotate it. Principle number 1. Read book with a purpose. First principle of fast reading. Read a book with a purpose. What do I mean by purpose? So first question. See, if you're reading a book just to kill your time, that's another story. then it's okay. Then this is not relevant for you. You are just killing your time. But I hope nobody has time to kill. We are so busy already. That means there has to be purpose. Now let's say the title of this, The Magic of Believing. This is the title of the book. So the question comes, what is that? I mean, magic of believing. What was this title we're talking about? It means the title is saying there is some belief problem. So first, what will I do? I will go through the index. The first thing I'll do is I'll go through the index. Say I'm on index. So first, when I go to index, I try to see, okay, there are total 11 chapters. All right, what is chapter? How I came to tap the power of belief, mind stuff experiment, what the subconscious is, suggestion is power, the art of mental picture, the mirror technique, how to project a thought. So I know, and woman and the science of belief, and belief makes things happen. At least when I know the title, I know the chapters. What is happening? The moment I understand the chapters, best part is this, I can now see which is relevant. So first chapter, what it says, how I came to tap the power of belief. So I am sure what is it talking. I'll just go through it initially for some time and I'll see what is it trying to make sense. If it is going in a story format, if I like it, I'll go ahead, but I'll not try to get the whole idea. First, what you do, take a snippet of the book. It means in one go, let's say I give you 5 chapters to read in one go. First, what you should do is revise all the 5 chapters, just glance it. Glancing can give you a feel of the subject. First point, okay? Read book with a purpose, read the chapters, and just glance through the chapter once. It may take you 30 minutes. At least you will get to know what is inside the book. You may not understand the concept. You don't have to. And what if, after glancing it, you may realize this book is not talking to you right now? I would say, don't worry. That is not the right book for you at that time. It has happened. My mentor always tells me one thing. He tells me, read one book, buy 4 books. Read one book, buy 4 books. Read one book, buy 4 books. Why? Reason being, many times the book which I am reading, my mind may not accept it at that point in time. But a time will come when this book will start talking to you. And I've done it. I remember I purchased 7 Habits of Highly Effective People way back in 2008. I read it for some time and it was going beyond my head. The author, he has written such an interesting concept, but somehow I do not know why, but it was not getting into my head. So I realized this is not the right time for me to read. So I read certain other books. After some time, I realized again I brought it back in 2010. That time it started connecting me for little bit. I mean, I was able to connect with this book 30% time. Again, I left it aside for some time. 2012, I again took out this book. That time, I don't know why, because that time I had leadership experience. I was leading organizations. I was handling conflict with people. Somehow in 2012, that book was, it was as if it is meant for me. Everything in that book was talking to me. That book suddenly became my favorite book. Similarly, what I had done. But what happened? I kept purchasing. By the way, if you see my library is filled with books. You observe there is an entire library. There are more than 1,000+ books in my library. And it is a fill of books. It didn't happen overnight. So that's a habit. So first I'll tell you, don't worry about it. Purchase the books. Start reading it a little bit. Then second habit. Again good. So first what I told, read with a purpose. Second habit, never read with a book without a pen. Second point, never read a book without a pen. It means read a book with a pen. Clear? Okay, what does that mean? And why it is required? Try this experiment for now 30 seconds. Okay. When you're trying to read right now, understand what happens to your brain. When you're seeing this way, let's say I'm reading this book like this at present, what is happening? My first eye has to go to understand where are the words. And to focus, it will take me time. To find out the line which I'm reading will take some time and it will be difficult for me. That way, I'll end up wasting a lot of time and it may feel boring to me and it may do a lot of stuff to me and probably this book will not connect with me and I may keep it aside like this. Second thing, so start with a marker. Always read a book with a marker. If you don't believe it, try this exercise right now and let me give you 1 minute. I will turn on a timer. Okay, anybody who is watching it right now, even if you are watching recording later on, what you should do is turn on a timer. I'll turn on a timer for you right now. I'm just doing a workshop for you live and I would like your comments to do that. Before I give you a topic, you read it this way and I'll give you a secret, though whatever best possible I'm doing it. So I will turn on a timer of exactly 1 minute. All right, we are there. Exactly 1 minute I'm turning on. Are you all ready? Are you all having a book? So take a book. Presently, I would say you read the book without a marker or without a pen. Just take a book like this, the way your old habit. And we will see what is happening. With your old habit will go right now. And even if you're watching a recording later on, what you should do is exactly pause this for 1 minute. And we will take a break of 1 minute right now. I'm there for 1 minute. I'll just turn on. I'm just turning on. What you will do is start reading a book and we'll take a 1 minute break. And the timer is on. Start reading. Let's start reading for 1 minute. I am also reading. You also read for 1 minute. One minute done. 1 minute done. All right. So now 1 minute, just observe how many words did you read. Okay. What you can do is just take one sentence on an average. In one sentence, how many words are there? Experience says the standard book will have 12 words in one line. One sentence, one line will have 12 words. Yeah, around 12. So now just see how approximate number. Don't worry about exact accuracy. Just count how many lines you read. And whatever is your present speed, can you all type it right now and give us some answers so that we can see your answers? What are the answers you found? Let us know so that I can see some of your answers. How many? What is your present speed? Just check it out. What's your present speed? If anybody read 70 words, that's fine. Some of you might be 60. Some of you might be 50. It's okay. Anybody who was above 150? I mean, anybody 100 above? If you have, why don't you write down? How many words you are able to read? It's an old habit. It's the way you are reading right now. I have not changed anything. The way you have been reading, just do that one. How many words are you able to read? Just check it out. Anybody here who had done 100? Can you write down? I mean, if you have comment something, if you have done 100, write down. All right. So the first habit. So now, what is happening? Now I'll teach you something which is quite interesting. Take a pen now. Okay. Again, I can give you 1 minute. This itself, one habit can increase your speed by 30+%. Trust on me. 30% speed will increase. If you don't believe it, take a pen. Okay. Take a pen, and the pen should be having some pointed lead. Okay. Without that, it will be blunt, will not work. Take a pointed lead of pen. Now start doing the same exercise for 1 minute again. And this time, what you do is take a pen and start reading. Nothing changes. This one habit again can increase your speed by 30%. Guaranteed. Just try it out. Okay. Shall we start again for 1 minute? All of you ready for the exercise? We start again. I'm again turning on the alarm. Now we'll read the same thing. Now turn on the page. Don't read the same page, because same page reading will be a little easier. Change the page, go to any random page again, and try reading it with a pen. And now let's see what is the speed, and let us evaluate what is the speed difference. All right, we start again. Timer is on. We started. Go ahead. Again, time is up for all of you. Now, can you count? Was the speed almost 30% improvement in the speed? After doing this for 1 minute, now what is the speed improvement? I mean, I'm just trying to see the difference with just a pen, nothing else. Just a pen has created how much of difference? Your previous speed and after pen, what is the difference? All of you, please comment on this so that we'll know. Add some comments. Let's see. Did you found at least 30% improvement in the speed just by this one, just by simple one idea? Did you got anybody who got at least 30% difference in the speed? Just 30% with just one technique. I'm sure you have, right? Post on the comments so that people can know how much benefit you got. Now, I'll give you one more interesting technique. This is another technique I'm giving. So till now, I've given you two simple technique. Number one, Do not read without a purpose. First thing is, do not read without a purpose. A purpose is a must. Otherwise, what will happen? You're randomly reading to kill time, then nothing is required. But I have a purpose in mind. Why am I reading? Second thing, chapters you go through and see which chapter is talking to you right now relevantly. Just start with that chapter and glance through it first. Don't try to remember everything initially. Just glance to it. After glancing, what you should do is then you start reading. And then I told you, when you read without a pen, your eyes focus is very difficult to get. Okay. Then I told just take a pen and with a pen. I'll give you one more tip right now, and other tips I'll give you next week. So you have to practice these 2-3 tips right now. Because at a time, if I give you 10 tips, what will happen? I'll tell you. You will struggle, and I'll also invite to interview 2 people whom I've been mentoring in book reading, and I have amazing guys. They have gone through the pain, so they will give you motivation that how you guys can succeed. And before I go, I'll give you one more tip, and I'll add 3 more tips later on. Okay, this tip is this. See, presently, if you're reading with pen, all of you, I'm sure, were a slider. You read like this. You read like this. You slided, and you slided. This is very slow, very slow. And it will not work. I'll give a secret. You will not believe it, and you will not be able to do it. The best part is you will not be able to do it easily. So don't worry if you're not able to do. All right. So what you should do is like this. In a word, observe. Just observe this. Okay. In any sentence randomly you pick up from a book and just see the sentence. In that sentence, you will see something amazing. 30 to 40% words are just connectors. When I say connectors, the, if, and, but, not, these are connectors. You will see 30% or the 40% words are like that, and your brain can connect this word automatically. That is awesome. Then what do you do? And I'll tell you what you should do. So today, try it out. Okay, try it out. Don't worry, you will not be able to do it in one. Right now, sliding. At least don't slide anymore. You put your pen randomly. You are a new reader in this area, then I am sure you will find little difficulty. Just go to 1 or 2 lines. Just try like this. In a line, suppose this line is having 12 or 14 words. To begin with, you start with 3 or 4 places to put your pen like this. Okay, put a pen like this, like this, like this, like this. Don't slide 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then slowly bring it to 1, 2, 3. Then 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Right. Presently, I read in. If this is the size of the book, I will read 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2 like this. I'll read. But if you're new, it's okay to have 4 spots randomly. Don't have to choose. Just I'll go for one word here. What will happen? I'll tell you. Just take an example and the demo. Why? What I'm trying to show you. Okay. All of you see this demo right now. See, my eyes are right now in front of screen. Okay. But let's spread my hand. Now I'm like this with the thumb. I'm seeing the screen. But is my thumb visible to me in subconsciously? Yes. Okay, now let me take my thumb little far. All of you do this exercise. You will see magical result. What I'm trying to say you, your eyes grasping power. It is in front of you. Just take it little far. So now I'm observing in the front. But do you think my thumb, when I'm rotating my thumb like this, see, I'm actually doing my thumb like this. You also do your thumb like this. So when you do your thumb like this, though you're seeing straight, still you will see movements of thumb in your eyes. You can, right or not? All of you can. Okay, now let us take it a little bit more far. It is close to, if this is 90 degrees, you have taken it to 180 degree. In 180 degree, little bit you can see at this 140 degrees around, approximately 140 degrees, the thumb movement are visible. True or not? All of you comment, yes or no. So this is in front of you, assume this is 90 degree in the hand, and you take it to that far, 120 degrees around, that this is 90 degrees. So take another 40 or 50 degrees, which is 130 degree to 140 degree. 140 degree thumb movement, though I'm seeing here, but my thumb movement there is visible to me. Little bit, not completely, but little bit. I'm sure all of you, right? Correct or not? 180 degrees visible, then it is great, but 180 degrees is not visible to me, but 140 degrees visible to me. Little bit. Correct or not? All of you try to understand that. That means your eyes sees radially. Now, what I'm trying to say you here, understand this concept. Very difficult to digest though, but try to do this. All right. So when you're going to read it, when you're going to read this book, what you do is take it. When you're taking randomly to 2 places, let's say I took this word and I just pushed it here. So what will happen? The moment my pen is in this word, 1 word or 2 word left side, 1 word and 2 word right side, it can automatically see it. I repeat again. When I'm clicking on this word, 1 word, let's say I randomly put on a word and the word is okay. Before okay 2 words, after okay 2 words, my eyes can already grab. It means rather than reading a word, I'm telling you to read few images at a time. Take graphical images. Your brain is actually capturing the images. Okay, try it out. Now let's take 1 more minute of exercise, and I'll bring the interview panelist for you to give you the initial challenges which you will face. So this is like this. Again, I'll turn on the timer for 1 minute. try with this, you will see another 30% improvement. So just with one change of pen, you got 30-40% improvement. This one more change can bring you another 30. Means just with this 15-20 minute session, I have increased the speed by double. Try it out. We'll take again 1 minute. All right, all of you ready? With a pen and paper and a book, what you will do? You will not slide. Okay, no sliding allowed. You will put your pen at 2-3 different spots, 2-3 different spots, 2-3 different spots, and you will read it. Don't worry about grasping. That I will talk in second session. I will talk about it again next Sunday. Next Saturday, we'll again sit for a half an hour and we'll talk about it. But as of now, are we all ready? So what I'm going to do? Put it your pen in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are a new beginner. That's why I'm telling you 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're already practicing it for some time, then 2 spaces is ideal. Actually, in this size of book, 1 spot is enough, but it will be difficult for a new reader to get it to that level. So at least start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of us are ready? Shall we start? So I'm now turning on the timer again for 1 minute. Here you go. Done. Start. Now let's see the speed. All right. Timer up. Now, did you found a speed difference? If you found another 30-40% improvement, I have a few more tips, but I'll not give you all at one time. It will jumble up your brain and confuse you. So if you got some increment in the speed, can you give some numbers? How much is the increment for you? 30%, 40%? So just I want a correlationship like this. When you started the old technology, whatever the speed of words were there, so write down like this. To begin with, my word speed was, let's say, 100. After just taking a pen, word speed improves to 120 or 130. After removing sliding technology, my word speed has increased to whatever. Check it out. Chances are high, most of you, to begin with the first phase and now, the speed should be doubled by now. That's in my experience of training people. So let me know a number. But before you go further, I'll take another 5-7 minutes to give you a real life challenge which you will face. The real life challenge you will face with fast reading. So let me invite 2 of my champions. So let me introduce them. One is Swarnindu. Swarnindu, why don't you say hi and where are you logging in from?
Hi everybody, this is Swarnindu. I'm just logging from Chennai.
Chennai. So what do you do? Can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, hi. So basically, I'm here in Chennai and working in a banking industry for last 13 years. And basically, by educations, I am from the risk background, from the credit risk side, and working in on US bank. And basically, I hail from Calcutta and working here for last around 8 years, and I just traveled lots of the states in India. Previously, I started my career in the state of Ahmedabad. Then I moved back to Chennai in 2012.
Good. So let me introduce my another champion, Prasant. Prasant, why don't you talk about yourself? Introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Prashant, currently working as an associate director in the digital transformation space. From educational standpoint, I have an MBA from University of Sheffield, England. Been working in the corporate for around 15 years now. Been with Peak Impact Mentorship for quite some time.
Nice. So why don't you guys, both of you, take 1 or 2 points and share when I taught you this speed learning. So what was your initial experience? What are challenges you faced? And if we can keep it short, that would be great so that people can understand. Both of you can start.
Sure, why don't you go ahead?
Prasad, anybody can.
Yeah, definitely. So initially, when I started this book reading, it was very challenging for me because I lacked the purpose. That what Mr. Vijay just now said. So we should have a purpose for studying a book. So I don't have an interest or the lack of the purpose was there. So now slowly, when I just started reading the books, a lot of the learnings I can get just specifically, if I just read a book on a laws of growth, basically, or a communications, or a how to handle a conflict. So previously, I was not aware basically that how to means is there any specific books or what are the fundamental techniques to handle this kind of a situations. But when I just came across with this Team Peak Impact mentorships, and when I got a great mentorship from Mr. Vijay, then I just slowly started reading the lots of books, and slowly that interest of reading the books that came to me. And the second challenges that what I can share is that I was a very slow learner around 2 years back, or 1.5 to 2 years back. And because what the challenges that what I faced is like I jumble around the words or feeling very distractions when I reading a particular line in a book. My eyes are or concentration is moving to the next word. So I used to go back and forth and all those things. So, and slowly I, when I'm making the habit, made the habit of reading the books daily, so these things actually is getting reduced, and now it is going great. And the second challenge is that was lack of vocabulary, because when we usually talk, we feel that means what happens to me basically is we don't have a stock of the words, so we feel lack of the words, to express our whatever we want to express. So book reading helped me a lot by getting a lots of good vocabularies and connecting the sentences. So these are the few challenges. So as Mr. Vijay said that how to improve those techniques. So I applied such techniques, and believe me, it's a great way to learning the first reading techniques and to understand the content also.
That's good. That's good, Swarendu. You're at a very valid point. Prasad, why don't you give your perspective?
Sure. So initially, fast reading was something as a change for me, and I was very uncomfortable taking a pen and pointing it to 4 spots and reading, because we are all used to reading word by word. And as I started learning and understanding how this works, I was able to overcome this challenge. And I used to challenge myself, just like Vijay sir put on timer. I used to put 3 minutes timer, and I wanted to read 10 pages. So that's how I was able to put my subconscious mind to work, and slowly overcome that habit of not reading word by word. That was the major challenge that I had. The other major challenge I had was, falling back into that habit of reading word by word. So initial days you are reading 4 spots, and then 2 pages later you again start reading word by word. So it became very difficult to ensure that that habit continues, and that is where the timer again helped me, made me conscious, and said, you are reading word by word again. That's not the right practice to do. So these were the two challenges, and I was able to overcome by practice, by being conscious and continuously connecting in this forum, so that we learn from each other and are aware of what mistakes we are making.
That's great, Prasad. You have added a very valuable point. So that was what I wanted to cover today, and I'll end you with few things to think as a pointer. Number one, read book with a purpose. Number two, never read without a marker or any pen. Without that, if you're reading, you will actually waste a lot of time. Number three, don't slide the pen. Take 4 spots to begin within line. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first thing you should do. Then thirdly, always put a timer. 1 minute, 2 minute timer you should put. Let's say 5 minutes, because you will be surprised that the moment you put timer, it's like all of you, when you have a deadline, your brain suddenly starts performing at a rapid speed. All of you face it, same thing here. So when you put a timeline of 10 minutes, you won't believe it, folks. In 10 minutes, you will feel like the whole world has stopped for you. And it will be so difficult for you to concentrate. But turn on the timer for 10 minutes. And I assure you, practice it for one week now. And we will meet up again on Saturday, same time, to give you further thing. But you have to practice first. So this week, I am giving you to practice. And one more thing. Don't be selfish by keeping this knowledge with yourself. I always understood one thing from Stephen Covey. He says, principle of 5. The only way you can learn a subject is by teaching it to 5 people. So what you should do, first thing, pass on this video to at least 5 people. That's the first thing you can do, because that's how you learn, right? Pass it on to 5 people so that they can learn it. Further, make it a group, and next week, again, when you come up with yours. So first 5 minutes, I'll try to do it. All of you post your comments on the YouTube, and also I'll have your comments. So if you have any queries, don't hesitate to comment, and I'll take all these questions, answer. So first, we'll discuss about the answers. Anybody have any question, any query? If you want to share any excitement, do not hesitate. post comments to it, and pass on this video to as many as you can. It was great talking to all of you. We'll meet up again on Saturday 5 p.m. with a topic of growth. And by the way, if you're not aware of, Peak Impact Mentorship is empowering a lot of people. And if you're looking to growth in life, Peak Impact Mentorship is the source for you, where every Sunday we do certain workshops, and workshops are quite affordable, just 100 rupees, and we touch base almost all aspects of growth. And I do a lot of other workshops on public speaking. You can be part of it, and it was great talking to all of you and adding value to you. Pass on as many comments as you can about your fast learning experience, and I would like to learn more from you. And next week we'll meet up to give you further insights about fast reading. Thank you so much. See you again.